This is a public service announcement. This problem asks you to calculate the area of the triangle. So you should be using your notes on page 42 to find the formula for area of a triangle. And on your reference sheet, on the formula side, under area for triangles. Okay, this problem says calculate the area of this triangle to the nearest ½ centimeter using the rulers provided on the shape below. All right, it says to the nearest ½ centimeter. Remember, on your STAR testing program, you'll have those two options for your rulers. It'll say something like customary and metric. It literally will do you no harm to click on both of them, okay? Click on both of them, find the one that you need. This problem says centimeters, so you need to click and find the one that has a side labeled centimeters, okay? Remember, centimeters are smaller than inches. All right. If you click on one and it doesn't have centimeters, click on that button again to get rid of it, and then click on the other one to open the other option, which would hopefully have centimeters. There will be one that has inches and centimeters on it, and you'll either be asked to solve in inches or in centimeters. Okay, this particular one says to the nearest ½ centimeter, meaning that if you're measuring a side, and you see how this side comes up past an even number of centimeters, all right, you're going to go to the nearest half. This one ends up at a half, so that would be 4½ All right, but before we can write down our measurements, we need to know what we're plugging them into. So what is the formula for the area of a triangle? Okay, if you're using your notes or your reference sheet, go pause and find it and write it down. The area of a triangle equals, all right, triangle area equals. We use base times height divided by 2. The one on your reference sheet is the exact same thing, but it looks different. It says 1/2 of or times your base times height. Either way, you're taking half of what your base times your height is. Okay, one of them just shows you multiplying by half, and the other one shows you dividing by 2. Remember, multiplying by the reciprocal of a number is the same thing. Okay, so let's go find our numbers to plug in. We know that we need a base measurement and a height. If you'll notice, we had rulers on all 3 sides, but we only need the measurements of 2. Okay, so which side is your base? Okay, this bottom side that it's resting on is going to be your base. Okay, and which side is your height measurement? All right, remember your height is attached to your 90-degree angle. So you're going to look for that 90-degree angle line that comes off of it, and that is your height. We don't need this diagonal slanted line at all, okay? We don't need it. Not needed. That's not an X to solve for. That means we don't need it. Okay, so now let's go look, find that base and that height. Okay, remember your base is on the bottom, so if you can flip your screen. You can't flip your screen. You can do something to look upside down if you needed to, but I can tell it says 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and it comes back past 7, and it's between 7 and 8. Okay, remember, you're not going to count from right to left on this picture because that's 12. You're going to start wherever 0 is, then move to 1. On your STAR program, you have the ability to flip your rulers using a little arrow that's on the end of your ruler. Okay, but this one comes to 7½ Okay, it's halfway between 7 and 8. So this is 7½ centimeters. So your base is 7½. Now you could use fractions, or you could write that as a decimal, because we know 1/2 is either 1/2 or 5/10. Okay. All right. The other measurement we need is your height. Remember, we said that your base and your height are off of that right angle. Okay. So your height is this straight up and down side. We don't need the slanted side at all. We don't need this measurement of 9 at all. So our height goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's about at half. Okay, so that's about 4½ centimeters. All right, so our height is about 4½, or you could write it as a decimal and say 4.5 centimeters. Okay. We recommend that you're using your decimals whenever you multiply and divide. If you're comfortable with fractions, do what you need to do, but we recommend you're using your decimals. So if you're going to plug it in, your formula is going to be the area of this triangle is your base times your height, and then divide your answer by 2. All right, if you're getting stuck, make sure you did both steps. You multiplied and you divided. All right, go solve.